Hi folks, I'm Hub Arkush with Arthur Arkush on my left, Kevin Fishbain on my right as we report live from Bourbonnais, day 4 of Chicago Bears training camp, and we're talking about the defense in this one, guys. And Arthur, I'm going to come to you first. You look in the secondary, all the competition at safety, nobody really jumping out yet, but Ryan Mundy was somebody that Mark Trestman singled out in his comments after practice today.
Yeah, Coach Trestman said Mundy looked pretty good covering man downfield, and he has maintained his grip with the first string alongside Brock Vereen, who continues to not look overmatched. He has a certain calming influence, I think, out there, especially for a rookie. So, Adrian Wilson working with the second team with Danny McCray, there's still going to be a bunch of competition here, but yes, it sounds like Ryan Mundy has caught the eye of Coach Trestman.
And it was interesting, Tim Jennings, a veteran, day off today. Kyle Fuller, who's looked so good in the nickel, playing the same spot in the space defense. He struggled a little bit today with receivers on the outside. Kevin, I know you've been watching very closely on the defensive line. So much competition there. Only 2 days in pads. A little hard to sort them out yet, I think.
Yeah, but from what I've seen, the defensive line has outplayed the offensive line. And it was one thing when the pads are not on, but when the pads came on and you got Ratliff, who took today off but has been outstanding so far. Lamar Houston is everything people expected, whether he's playing the outside, the inside spot. 2 guys off the edge who have really caught my eye are Willie Young and Trevor Scott, because Scott's in a battle to make this roster, and right now it's clear that Trevor Scott is the number 4 defensive end, ahead of guys that were here last year in David Bass and Cornelius Washington, but Trevor Scott has really had his way with some of these offensive tackles.
And Trevor Scott, a journeyman veteran with a 7-sack season in his background, albeit a few years ago. Obviously, I'm focused on the linebackers. Arthur, this was a day when Shea McClellan struggled once again. Now, he was trying to cover Matt Forte. A lot of people struggle with the Pro Bowler, but Shea McClellan just does not look comfortable yet at the linebacker position.
Yeah, I watched it as well. He got burned by Forte on a wheel route. I don't think there's any shame in that, but he just, in year 3, seems to kind of sometimes still look like a deer in headlights. Meanwhile, John Bostic, I think, who has definitely asserted himself as that nickel alongside Lance Briggs, got his hand on a ball today, a pass deflection intended for Brandon Marshall. Lance Briggs obviously was active. He's always going to be, and Christian Jones has stood out in individual drills. We'll see if he gets a chance to break through and work with the higher teams.
Yeah, and Jones, of course, an undrafted rookie free agent. He's got to show a lot, got to show it in the preseason games. But Arthur mentions John Bostic, Kevin, and he looks so much more natural to me this year, so fluid, and he clearly is the starter in the nickel package, and they're going to spend a lot of time in that defense.
Yeah, which might mean he'll be the week 1 starter. If you expect the fact the Buffalo Bills are probably going to come out with 3 wide receivers, the Bears are going to match with the nickel. John Bostic is your starting linebacker from day 1, and he hasn't played a whole lot with that first team base, but he's playing the middle with the second team base. They're trying to figure out the best spot for him, but you're right, he's looked really smooth and fluid out there, allowing him to run. And Reggie Herring said in minicamp, John Bostic is their best player in coverage, and we've seen that the past couple of days.
It's fascinating, folks. As high as hopes are for this football team, I don't remember a training camp with so much competition at so many positions. The best way to get that news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Arthur, Kevin, I will be here bringing it to you right here at ChicagoFootball.com.